Have you ever wondered what it's like to search the world over for someone you love and never give up, even when every step feels heavier than the last? What does hope sound like if you listen to the quiet spaces between heartbeats? Imagine now the gentle hush at the edge of a world waiting for spring, and a mother's footsteps that echo through every field and grove. Demeter, goddess of harvest and plenty, wandered the earth when shadows crept over her heart. She was born among gold wheat and silvery olive trees, a gentle presence in every blossom and every stalk that swayed in the breeze. The world itself seemed to bloom beneath her touch. Whenever Demeter smiled, meadows whispered with clover, and poppies turned their faces toward her, shy and blushing. In cozy cottages and quiet villages, people honored her by tending their gardens, pruning their fruit trees, and baking loaves of bread as offerings of gratitude. She watched children tumble through tall grass, felt the pulse of growth, the warm thrum of abundance. All she loved was here, and her joy spun sunlight through every corner of the earth. And the center of her heart was always Persephone, her beloved daughter, her laughter at dawn, her promise that the seasons would forever turn in gentle harmony. But then, one sun-touched afternoon, Demeter noticed a strange, silent hush. Wildflowers seemed to close, curling protectively, as if whispering secrets to the earth. The air was thick with something missing. She called Persephone's name and felt it vanish among the petals, unanswered. Her heart began to pound, not with certainty, but with the prickling chill of loss. The trees did not reply. The birds, so recent in the branches, had flown. Something was wrong. So Demeter searched. She searched with a mother's heart, a heart that knows the shape of every joy and sorrow. She wandered the gently rolling hills, her bare feet brushing dew from soft mosses. But Persephone was not there. She stood by the silver rivers, listening for familiar laughter in the voices of the water. And still, nothing. She reached the wheat fields, sun warm on her shoulders, but every stalk bowed with grief. Vines hung limp, seeds slept beneath the soil, and the earth itself felt faint and tired. As she moved, the world shifted. Every step pulled life away from the land, as if the earth too felt her sadness and could no longer flourish. Fields faded, orchards dwindled. The people felt it too, their baskets lighter, their tables bare. Still Demeter pressed on, searching not just the places where Persephone had once danced, but the liminal spaces, places between night and dawn, between memory and forgetting. In her longing, Demeter spoke to the spirits of trees, to river nymphs, to wise old stones beside the path. "Have you seen my child?" Demeter whispered. The nymphs offered only mournful ripples, and the stones kept their ancient silence, steady and unmoved. Still a hope flickered, small but unyielding, a mother's hope that refuses to dim, no matter how cold the wind becomes. Days turned to weeks, and the seasons themselves seemed to pause in anticipation. Leaves clung stubbornly to the cold branches, the world holding its breath. Through these endless days, Demeter's journey became a passage not only across the fields and woods, but within her own heart. At night, she would rest, gathering warmth from faded grasses, and dream of Persephone's laughter rippling over shining lake waters. It was longing and love, woven together like the roots and shoots of every growing thing. One night, in the hush of darkness, Demeter stood beneath a sky so clear she could count the seeds of every distant star. She reflected. She thought of poetry she learned from the earth itself, that everything that sinks is not lost, that beneath winter's snow, seed lies sleeping, patient as a dream. She felt the wisdom of philosophers echoing through roots. All things return, all cycles renew. She remembered the words once spoken to her by an old gardener kneeling in the black soil. Even in emptiness, there is expectation. Absence, too, is a kind of promise. And so, Demeter waited, shivering sometimes, but never letting go of hope. She gathered comfort in memories. Persephone's bright eyes, her quicksilver laughter, her muddy footprints in the garden paths. The quest became a ritual, a prayer of patience, a lesson in trust. Sometimes she would pause, laying her hand on the cool earth, and imagine Persephone's warmth blooming somewhere far below, waiting to rise. One evening, while the world was quietest, Demeter heard a voice, not with her ears, but in her heart. It was the gentle assurance of the fields, the promise that all things change, and what is lost may yet be found. She remembered then the ancient wisdom, both scripture and song, that teaches, to everything there is a season. Each morning, with slow, careful steps, Demeter traversed the meadows, tenderly checking each blossom, searching for signals in the way grass leaned towards the sun. She listened to poets who wrote of longing and reunion, and she found the courage to hope anew with every dawn. The days flowed gently, as winding rivers do, sometimes swift, sometimes almost still, always drawing her onward. The earth, as if sensing her devotion, began to soften beneath her feet. Buds tried, tentatively, to unfurl. Green shoots pushed through sleep-heavy soil, reaching for the possibility of return. It was as if Demeter's faith, or perhaps her gentle sorrow, was calling the world back to life, little by little. People saw it too. A new greenness in their gardens, a shimmer of hope in the fragile brightness of each morning. One golden afternoon, as Demeter wandered along the edge of a new plowed field, she felt a lightness, an almost musical warmth against her skin. It was not yet reunion, but it was promise. The trust that with patience, the lost will be found, and every absence holds the possibility of return. It was the lesson whispered by wind and seed and memory, that love's search continues, gently and unbroken, as long as hearts endure. And so Demeter's journey, her quest across every hill, valley, and shadowed grove, became more than a search for Persephone. It became a story that the earth itself remembered. Her relentless devotion, her unwavering hope, wove new life into the bones of the world. Even as she waited, the world was held in her gentle embrace. And today, if you find yourself longing for something or someone gone, remember Demeter's journey. Patience, love, and the quiet work of hope can call what's lost back to you. In time, like spring after a long winter. For in every search and every waiting heart, there is a promise of return and warmth and belonging, waiting just beneath the surface. And so, as the story folds itself softly around you, let Demeter's patient footsteps remind you, you are never truly alone, and hope blooms quietly, even in the coldest earth.